Hey, everybody, in this episode of Box Office Breakdown, Coco holds the #1 spot for the 3rd week in a row. Can it get it 4th? Probably not. Star Wars is coming, guys. We know nothing's going to beat that. We'll talk about that and more next.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies. And now, here's Popcorn Talk's Box Office Breakdown.
Hey, everybody, welcome to Box Office Breakdown. Of course, this is the show where we look back at the box office that was, and then we'd like to
prognosticate
about the box office that lie ahead. I'm one of your hosts, Frank Moran. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at HappyGoJackie.
And you guys can follow me online at Kari Lane. That's Karidlane.
And I'm Amy Cassandra, and you guys can find me on all social media at Amy Cassandra TV.
What's up? It's your boy Neil Plumley. You can find me at all places where you find people at my name, which is the Neil Plumley, TheNeilPlumley. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Neil. And of course, folks, you can like us on Facebook, give us those 5 stars on iTunes, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and of course, while you're there, thumbs, all over the place there. And of course, if you're watching the show even after we've aired live, though, feel free though to comment where Kari Lane is pointing right now.
Down below.
That's true. But anything that you may want to talk about, or Kari Lane's going to have a question for you folks to answer, but she won't tell you that until the end of the show. That's like what we call like a tease in the industry, guys.
Yes.
To
I've heard this term before.
To lure you in.
And we have a live chat, so if you guys watch this live, and if you're missing it live, you can join us next time and join live.
That's right.
Yeah.
There you go. So feel free to hop in, share your thoughts about anything that we're talking about, or anything that you might want to share about movies in general.
Sure.
Yeah. We'll jump right into it with a look back at this week's top 5. As I mentioned there in the little cold open, Coco, once again, #1 in the box office.
Coco.
Another $18.3 million. The only one this week to break the double digits in terms of their box office gross.
Oh boy.
Well,
Yes.
I think we all said that. We're all like, yep, Coco.
Yeah. Coming in #2, Justice League.
Yeah.
The League of Justice.
$9.5 million. Getting better and better every single week.
Every time you see it, it gets a little bit better.
#3, Wonder.
Still
From
holding
Lionsgate. 8.4.
Yay.
I think we all felt like that was going to hold on tight, and it seems like it's doing pretty well there.
Seems like it.
And #4,
Yeah.
one of 2 new films that entered the big box office competition this past weekend. This is the one that actually was the subject of our box office bet.
It was.
We had the same number, right?
The Disaster Artist. $6.4 million.
Wow.
Woo!
Astounding. Astounding that it made it to #4 with 840 screens.
That is
Yes.
true.
That's unbelievable. That's very hard to do.
Now, who here saw it over the weekend?
I haven't.
There
No.
you go. Yes.
You saw it?
I saw it as well.
Okay.
Yes. Amy
You
Cassandra.
go first.
No, that's a perk about talking about these films that I can say who's going to go first. And Amy Cassandra, you should go first.
Well, then I will. Thank you.
What do you
It
got?
is an honor to get to talk about it.
And a privilege.
Yes, this is true. Okay, so I did watch The Room earlier this week. I did not know what to expect when I started watching it, and it was great. It was great because it's so different, and you're like, what the heck am I watching? And I promise you guys, you've never seen anything like it. So I was surprisingly excited to get to watch The Disaster Artist. I was a little too excited. So I watched it, I think it was last night, and it was great. I really liked it. I think James Franco did a wonderful job. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of hard to describe, obviously, just like The Room.
Amy, can I ask, would you recommend watching for people to watch The Room first, then watch The Disaster Artist? Like, does that? Because I know it's been said that you don't have to watch The Room.
No, you should.
But I'm also saying you should watch The Room. I have yet to see Disaster Artist, but I love The Room. I would definitely, because there's a lot of inside jokes watching The Room that you would appreciate more watching The Disaster Artist.
So I didn't watch it, but someone commented that there's a 13 Ghosts poster on the wall, and technically that came out after when The Room was made.
I mean,
So,
whatever. Like, honestly, there's so much going on in the
I was just wondering if
main
anybody
part
else
of
noticed it was random.
that like your eyes don't wander, and I don't. They do such a good job of keeping your attention there the whole time, where you're like, what? This is so weird. And I really did like that James Franco and Dave Franco and Alison Brie were all in it, so it's like a little family thing. And yeah, so definitely
Is it funny?
It is.
Okay.
But you have to watch The Room first, because if not, you're gonna be like, "That's stupid. I don't get it." But yeah,
Just
so
like that?
exactly like that.
Stupid.
So it's So watch The Room, then watch The Disaster Artist, and just take it for what it is. It's not Oscar worthy, but it's just something fun to have. And I'm glad that they brought it out at this time of the year, where you just want to chill. I mean, we're all under so much stress around this holiday season that I think it's one of those movies where you're like, yeah, just sit back, relax, laugh your butt off. Yeah, I mean, once you guys start seeing it, we'll definitely talk about it more.
All right.
For sure.
Interesting. All right.
No, you go.
Your turn.
Well, I've not seen The Room, so I did what? No.
Okay.
Yeah, life
This is great.
There's a lot of busy things happening.
Do you feel like you've seen The Room now after seeing Disaster Artist, or like a portion of it?
I mean, I guess because they do recreate a lot of the scenes from there. I think they said like about 40 minutes in total. It's kind of recreated scenes from the film. So yeah, I mean, I still feel like there's still the room to go and enjoy in and of itself. So, and I feel like you've heard enough about The Room that just going in, you can still enjoy it. I'm sure there's those fine beats and moments that seeing The Room will only make some of these moments probably resonate a little bit more.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, I feel like everything's like starting with just James Franco from the beginning. You watch it. Watch The Room for sure, because I think
I mean, it was fine. I wasn't like
Fine.
But who knows if I was like maybe blown away by a lot of the pre-show hype. Like, oh my gosh, this is going to be fantastic.
Right.
So maybe I was going in expecting this, and then I just walked away going like, that's fine. I wasn't like, oh my gosh, it's the craziest movie I've ever seen.
Did you
well,
laugh?
no, you're not.
Did I laugh? Yeah. I mean, but also part of that is I touched also by a lot of celebrity cameos of a lot of stars playing different parts in the film. Certainly, if anybody's listened to How Did This Get Made, the podcast with Paul Scheer, Jason Mantzoukas, and June Day and Raphael, they've gone on and on about their love for the film. So you're seeing a lot of people like that definitely have appreciation for the source material that you see are playing parts within this kind of movie about the making of that film. So, yeah, it's kind of fun seeing like who is playing who in this film.
Right.
We'll see, and at the end, like, you get a little special treat. So make sure that you do watch all the way to the end of the movie. It's a special. Watch The Room. I think you get a whole different perspective, because I was so excited to see it, and then I left and I was like, that was so much fun. Like,
Maybe. I don't know. It's there you go. Hey, just keeping it real, Amy. They do this thing at the end where they show you some scenes from them. It's not really a spoiler, but they just show you scenes from the film, but split screen with the scenes that they shot in the recreations for this film. And there's one scene where James Franco, for the most part, everybody kind of does like a pretty faithful reenactment from the original film. But then there's one scene where James Franco, like, he goes over the top in the performance.
Because it's part of the joke of The Room. It's part of it. That's what you need to see. Ugh. Okay, one last thing, though, is that if you guys live in LA, the ArcLight in Hollywood, they have a little scene, like a little part of The Room / The Disaster Artist outside, so you get to take pictures with it, which of course I did. So you guys are welcome to check out my Instagram at Cassandra.
Wait, any of us?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Amy,
quite
thanks
a
for
treat.
Yeah. No, it's super cool. I want to know more. I don't know how many of you guys actually saw The Disaster Artist in the chat. Well.
Let's see. Howell's Hollywood Review says you mean the I did not part with Franco?
Yeah.
That is correct.
But it's part of it, because it's like, you're tearing me apart, Lisa, and it's also I did not when he throws away the water bottle. And this just sounds like nothing to you guys. But
but there's one thing about recreating them.
it's part. Watch it. Come on.
No, I felt like the idea is you're trying to recreate these things pretty authentically, and the other one is also kind of like exaggerating moments. And I feel like
it's only that one part, because it makes sense, because it's like, oh, that's.
Ken Jack says I saw it and it was amazing.
There you go. There you go.
Okay.
Oh, there you go. All right.
There it is.
All right. Well, good talk about that Disaster Artist. There you go. Lots of great hair. Lots of great hair.
Oh,
Oh, good.
well,
So there, if you love hair, that alone is worth
I do.
checking out. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Dave Franco, for a part of it, has a beard that cannot be real. It cannot,
oh gosh,
it cannot be real.
awful. I love it. I love it.
And rounding out our top 5, Thor Ragnarok from Buena Vista, $6.2 million. Look at that.
Not on the list, but I saw the 3 billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri.
Oh, that looks fantastic.
It's very good. It is super quirky, and that one I thought that was very funny. A lot of good loud moments, a lot of great character development of characters go through situations and they actually, change. They don't not one-dimensional. There are some very traumatic things. Warning. Just so you know. But overall, it's very funny and left feeling like that was really good. I had did you say you saw it, Anthony? Or were you promoting it? Or am I catching you eating? No. Somebody else I know said they saw it and really liked it, so I was like, yeah, sure, let's check it out. It was at my more indie theater and thought it was really neat.
Cool.
I recommend it.
Let's see. And Stardust is Amy will get Frank back with Ferdinand. Frank, no worries, guys. I've already seen that. So.
Yes,
sorry, Stardust. I have seen Ferdinand.
Howl's Hollywood Review says 3 billboards was really good. Frances McDormand absolutely got to get nominated for an Oscar. I thought she was great. Some review, I didn't bother reading it because they're like, yeah, she was great. Everybody else sucked, essentially. That's not exactly what they said, but I'm like, well, I don't care because I liked all the other people too. I thought it was a great bunch of random people. And some people have bigger parts than others, and some random people come in and you're like, oh, that was you and you're with this other's movie and things.
There's no small parts, only small actors.
Yeah.
There you go. Wisdom for today.
The Disaster Artist was the subject, as I mentioned, of our box office bet from last week. Neil?
I have those numbers right here.
Lay it on us.
The winners were Kari and Amy, who both bet $5 million. Of course it did. What was it, 6-4?
Yeah.
Yes.
6-4?
Fantastic numbers for Disaster Artist. Second place goes to Frank Moran with a 4.8. Congratulations, Frank. And last place is myself with 3.4. So I'll be seeing this movie
Have fun.
eventually.
What? Eventually?
I'll be seeing it eventually.
Well, apparently everyone's
this
saying you can watch it
Friday's-
on YouTube for free.
The Room.
Disaster Artist?
The Room.
Oh, well, yeah.
So you can do what Amy was saying and prepare.
Yeah, of course. Which is what I plan to do. Something about The Room is really intriguing to me because it's
Good
like...
for you.
Oh, wait, did you guys watch the thing I linked you to? The
No.
thing I linked you on Twitter.
I'm so sorry.
Did you?
I saw something. I don't know if that was the same thing.
I've never seen the link.
Some of
I
you
just didn't
asked, and I
look at
put it on Twitter. I linked all of them and did box office breakdown. It's the breakdown. It linked you back to Facebook and a video why people love The Room. So go watch it.
Blue team, though, just like keeping it real here in the chat. You get a grip of your show. The Room is rubbish. So there you go.
Great.
We're not really
For your
debating whether or
opinion.
not it's rubbish. It's just the fact...
Teresa says, of course it is. So,
what's
yeah.
intriguing to me is that it's something that...
It's that people like it, even though it's trash.
Yeah, this person
Yeah.
put so much themselves into the movie that there's something intrinsically there. When you watch it, that's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I get it that it's bad, but it's
Yeah.
there's something about it that's like not completely dismissible, which is why people like it.
Or
Yeah.
Teresa goes on to say, it is so bad you make fun of it.
Well, and the thing about the Disaster Artist is that it made me, you can see Tommy Wiseau as being endearing, which is not something that I thought of before.
Now you've seen both. Do you think
Yeah.
he's in on it and understands how bad it is, or do you think
Yeah.
he thinks it's really good?
No, he knows. When he created
sure?
it. Yeah. No, when he created it, he wanted a different, he wanted people to experience it a different way, and so as people watch it, he realized, oh, this is different. But no matter what, people know who he is.
That's true.
Yeah,
So-
he made the movie to become some sort of success.
Yeah.
And he is some sort of success, but for
Some
the complete
sort of-
opposite reason that he thought he'd be,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is really interesting.
True.
That Tommy Wiseau is an interesting character,
Yes.
to say the least. Anybody else see some films this weekend?
Yeah.
Can I share something?
Yeah.
No, we're good, Anthony.
I called you out, and I was like, oh,
Please.
he's not ready.
Oh,
Go
sorry. I was
I said, did you recommend the 3 Billboards?
Oh yeah, I would totally recommend
There
that
we
movie.
go.
That's a fantastic film. It's one of the best movies I've seen of 2017. Gotta say,
Great.
Definitely gonna be an Oscar contender. Another one that's one of the best movies I've seen of 2017 is The Shape of Water.
Oh.
I saw it last night at the ArcLight Hollywood. It was in the Dome, so my first time being in there. It was beautiful theater.
Cool.
I really liked it. The film itself was amazing. It's definitely Guillermo's. In my personal opinion, it's Guillermo's best film. It's hands down his best American film. I think Pan's Labyrinth, in my opinion, is his best Spanish film. But overall, I think The Shape of Water shows how far he's come as a filmmaker, and it shows on the silver screen the amalgamation of his 25 years of filmmaking, starting with The Devil's Backbone to, Kronos, Pan's Labyrinth. Mimic, which was one of his hated films. It's all shown here. He always has a sort of like a childhood innocence to all his films, and that's represented through Sally Hawkins. But she's a mute, but her mannerisms show in other ways where you see her innocence, and it's so uplifting when you're watching the film. All the characters are great. They're so well thought out. They're so complex, and the actors are so on point. Like Michael Shannon was a great villain. Sally Hawkins was amazing. Octavia Spencer was so funny.
Yeah.
So funny in this film. And I love how it takes the perspective of the people that you don't usually see, or the people who are usually invisible in film. As in, Michael Shannon is a U.S. government agent, and you would think that he'd be like the main story, but in reality, it's just the helper, the cleaner, who is the main focus. And it's a great ensemble cast, and I truly loved it. Definitely worth watching. Hopefully, it's an Oscar contender, and yeah, I guess that's about it. It was really great.
Well, and you met someone pretty cool.
Yeah, Guillermo's probably he's my favorite film director, and there was people rushing him kind of outside, and I was very patient enough, and I told him that I got a picture with him, and I told him thank you, because he's with Pan's Labyrinth. When I saw it, that's when I realized my love for cinema, and I felt a great debt to him because of it, and I finally was able to pay him back that debt by telling him thank you so much. And he gave me a hug, and he told me how, he has directors, how he feels the exact same way about how I feel about him, that he feels about, George Méliès, when he, Max Fury Road. I know he's a proponent of that film. And then he gave me a hug, and we took a picture together, and it was amazing, and I was in shock, and I cried a little because it was so emotional.
So emotional that
yeah,
photo.
I was very emotional. But yeah,
sweet.
It was a great time, and thank you for letting me share that.
I was really hoping that story was going to go a different direction. When he said a lot of people were rushing him, that you had stepped in and you beat a bunch of people up to make your way to the front.
He's Scott Pilgrim.
My turn.
Yep.
Yeah, just right in front of Guillermo.
I jumped into the fray and knocked them all down, and I got him all to myself.
Not really my style, yeah. I just creep in slowly.
That's awesome, Anthony. Congratulations.
That's great.
Thank you, guys.
Oh, look at that. So basically, probably the biggest brush with greatness that anybody here on the show has probably had. Yeah. Anybody top having a personal one-on-one with such a
Ron Howard.
It's part of our jobs here.
Okay.
On red carpets, just saying. Testing my shoulders up.
There's a lot of cool
There's
people
been a
out
lot
there.
of, yeah.
But
see, his is different though too, of a random encounter.
That was so cool. And I also went to the ArcLight Hollywood. I had the same experience with the movie, that it was fantastic. I did not get to see Guillermo del Toro, so Anthony, you beat me on that one. But yeah, it was really cool, and it was beautiful. It is so gorgeous to watch. It's just definitely worth a watch once it comes out.
Now, Howl's Hollywood Review, he mentioned a little bit ago that he had seen Just Getting Started with Tommy Lee Jones, our other film that was possibly in contention from the box office, but came in at number 9, did not make very much money this weekend, a little over $3 million.
We didn't really think it would.
Yeah, we're all want.
He did describe it as awful, so there you go. I feel like hopefully we'll see that on the poster for the marketing. Yep.
Terrible.
And Star Drew, as we're talking about other films coming up, I know that Ready Player One dropped another trailer.
They did.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm a huge fan of that book.
And did you watch the new trailer?
I love that book too.
I think I've read it 4 times probably.
Okay, I'm not.
Did this new trailer satisfy you?
Yeah, well, this, I know this, you can't please fanboys or fangirls.
Right.
They're unpleasable. But if you come at this with an open mind, fanboys and fangirls, people who've read the book, you'll understand that they can't make the movie like they made the book. There's a lot of challenging things in there, not only with like content IP and licensing and stuff like that, but just how boring some of the challenges would be to watch in a movie.
Yes.
I think
to play out in real time.
Yeah, not to like give a whole lot away in the book, but some of the challenges are to literally
play out the movie scenes.
Yeah, word for word play out an entire movie made in the 80s, like War Games. You can't do that, not just for licensing, but that would be the most boring thing to watch. You just watch War Games. That aside, there's a lot of exposition in this trailer, which I think is needed because it's a high concept thing. There's a whole lot of like, this is my name, this is what I'm doing. There's not a lot to do anywhere else. We all do this in the Oasis. I'm like, I get it. Yeah, I mean, it's important to say that because
for all the noobs who haven't seen it.
Yeah, people are gonna need a good content buffer to get into it. You need it for the book too. It's the first like 40 pages was just intro. That being said, the new stuff that they're showing about the challenges and stuff looks really cool. A lot of the cinematic, like some of the chase sequences, some of the stuff with Akira's motorcycle, which I think it's I forget her name right now. Artemis. I think it's Artemis who's driving the Akira's or Kaneda's motorcycle. A lot of the shots with that were insane. I was just like, oh my god, give me more of this. This looks so cool. And like, I haven't like gone frame by frame of the trailer yet, but I'm sure if I did, I'd find a lot. But you can see Tracer from Overwatch running around in there. I think Chucky is in the trailer at some point, punches somebody. And it just looks like I'm ready. I'm ready to see this movie so much. I'm just so excited.
I mean, I haven't watched the new trailer, but I love the book, and I do highly recommend you, people watching, listening, to read the book as well, because yeah, they're definitely probably going to change things for sure. Actually, I was going to say another trailer thing. Has anybody watched the Alita trailer yet?
Oh yeah.
Have you watched the anime or read it?
No,
Okay.
I've been trying to get my hands on it off and on for a while, but
no, fair enough. If you all don't know yet, there's a Battle Angel Alita trailer. This movie has been trying to be made for like 10-something years. James Cameron's producing.
I think it's 17, actually. It's how long he's had the rights for.
Yeah. Robert Rodriguez is directing. I'm very excited about that. I have watched the original anime, and I've read some of the manga. I like the trailer, but her eyes are really weird.
Her eyes are kind of Uncanny Valley.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's what I was saying the whole time.
But I'll say this about it. I don't know if they should change it. They probably can in post. They might have time to revert her eyes back to a normal size. But I will say that I've seen the trailer probably about 4 times or so. Because that's what I do with trailers. I love them. If you're just tuning in for the first time, Neil loves trailers so much. I've seen it about 4 times, and I'll say that her eyes and the way she looks gets less and less drastic each time I see it. So I'm wondering if it's going to be...
You'll probably just get used to it as you're watching?
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's like someone from today watching Tron, the original from like the 80s. You know, when they first go into the grid, it's really off-putting. It's weird. All the color's gone from their faces, and it looks odd. But after like 10 minutes, like you don't even notice it. So I'm wondering if it's going to be something like that. I'm not saying that they should change it or not. I'm just saying that I'm probably okay with it either way.
Also, it's a Latina actress. Which is cool. I think Christoph Waltz is a good choice, though he's a little short because that character is supposed to be like this very
lanky
tall
and
guy,
tall, the big
which
chin.
I'm like, fine. He does have I forget what it is, but there's a thing on his forehead which he doesn't have so far in the trailer, so I don't know if that's coming back. Another part. Do you know anything about Lita? I was looking this one.
No. That's
All
fine. Don't pay attention to me.
Cool.
Ask real quick. How do you guys feel about Robert Rodriguez directing it?
Oh no, I'm excited. I like his stuff.
I don't know, because it's been a while since he's done anything,
Okay.
and I wasn't that much of a fan of Planet Terror. I mean, I love Sin City.
Not a fan of
We
Planet
made the
Terror.
same face. We're like,
I mean, in retrospect,
liked it more than Death Proof.
like
just saying.
I like it for what it is, but it's not a great film. Like, it's not like amazing or.
We'll be interested.
It's a grindhouse thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But like, what else has he done apart from that? And maybe like what, Machete? I guess.
I don't know, Spy Kids?
Yeah, exactly.
Shark Boy and Lava
Hey,
Girl.
Spy Kids is cool.
Yeah, I said Spy Kids not as like I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying Spy Kids as a disagreement. I think Spy Kids is amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, but that was
All of them?
Nah.
That was like at the start of his, sort of at the start. But I mean, I do love Desperado, which I believe that was him. But I'm a little shaky. Not
Say,
gonna lie.
Once Upon a Time in Mexico, that was him, right?
That was him. I believe so as well. Yeah.
Well, we'll see. I do think the eye choice, is very interesting. Somebody mentioned Jonathan says very strong creative choice. It'll probably get used to it. I mean, it looks like in the graphic novel and the anime, they are the very stereotypical huge anime eyes. And technically, she's not. I mean, we're not going to get too much into it, but she's not exactly a human being. So having unnatural stuff is fine because you're like, well, you're not like a normal person. I don't know. What do you guys think? Leave comments down below. I know a lot of people are like, blah,
It's
blah,
very
the
polarizing.
eyes.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park. Did anybody see the Jurassic World trailer?
Yeah.
It looks. I didn't quite care for the trailer.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the movie can be okay,
All right. Yeah.
but just the trailer itself, I thought was a little off.
yeah.
Yep.
I feel like we'll probably see some more twists. I'm hoping that there are more twists to the story.
Yeah, the trailer feels
Maybe some
like,
more
and the movie's
gymnastics.
over.
Fantastic. Yeah, if we see more gymnastics, that's Jurassic Park films and gymnastics have always gone
It's what we're
hand in
missing.
hand together. Yep.
Well,
missing.
technically, in the Jurassic Park book, Ellie, Dr. Ellie, she does some gymnastic stuff to get away from the raptors, which they don't include in the movie, but it's really cool in the book.
The second film really did it with the convenient use of bars there to defeat that velociraptor.
Right, of course.
Whew, that's a rough one.
Yeah, and then somebody mentioned, Rodriguez from Dusk Till Dawn. Thank you, Hal.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
I know some people mentioned Star-Trek, I think, mentioned the new Ultimate Spider-Man trailer that came out.
Yeah.
That looks pretty decent, too.
Yeah.
Should be intriguing. And
I haven't watched it yet, but there's a Batman Ninja anime trailer.
I saw the trailer. The content looks really cool, but the animation style is something that I'm not quite keen on. That's just me.
Yeah.
But the story looks like badass. He's like fighting someone in Gotham, and then they just like transport him somewhere else, and he's like Batman in like Japan, and he's like, what do I do?
I think it should have been Ninja Batman, not Batman Ninja.
Probably.
But that could be a translation thing.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yep.
Before we move on to next week, I did get a chance to see Ferdinand, as I mentioned earlier,
Yes.
and The Greatest Showman. Both of those will have to wait, unfortunately, until next week for me to share my feelings about either of those films. Anyway, yes. Anyway, before we do our box office bet for next week, we have two films in contention for that. One is the aforementioned Ferdinand, and the other one, small film, probably nobody's really going to go see, Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
Jetty.
Jetty.
Jetty. There
you go. Fantastic. We'll be betting on those, so feel free to hop in the chat, share your thoughts about that. I mean, folks, I know that you love to see me go see a good animated film. The fact that I've already seen it may spoil your voting process. Just throwing that there already. I've already seen it. So, but whether that colors the way you decide to vote, why not one of these lovely three? Perhaps maybe you'll enjoy the experience of seeing Ferdinand as well.
It looks cute.
Anyway, we're going to do a box office rewind. Before we go on any further, we'll talk about the films of one person that's going to be starring in an upcoming film this weekend. Why don't we talk about Neil's close personal friend, Benicio Del Toro?
Yes. Him and I go way back.
Absolutely. That's why I figured, it's like Neil's probably going to feel a little embarrassed to comment on some of these, but it's okay.
We're actually very. I met him because I was his body double in Sin City. We're actually very similar body types.
I always thought the first thing I remember when I met Neil, I was like, God, that's like, is Benicio Del Toro here?
Yeah, from the back, people just don't know.
That's right.
Yeah, I get it a lot.
I included 6 because, first, surprisingly, the biggest movie that he's in was Guardians of the, unsurprisingly, the Guardians of the Galaxy was number 1. So I was like, all right, why don't we see some of the other films that he's been in? Coming in number 6 for him, License to Kill, which I do not remember in that movie, but back from 1989, $8.7 million.
I don't remember.
No, I do not remember that at all either.
But cool,
either.
all right.
Okay. Number 5, The Hunted from Paramount back in 2003, $13.4 million. Yeah.
No, remember that one?
Never saw that one either.
Yep.
Number 4, Savages from 2012, $16 million.
That was the one with
John Travolta.
John Travolta?
Wasn't that? And Taylor Kitsch and.
I'm thinking of a very different movie.
It wasn't like Taylor Kitsch and what's his name? Quicksilver. Are the.
Aaron Taylor Johnson?
Yeah. Are they like drug runners?
I think so. I don't know.
Sharing Blake Lively.
Oh yeah, it was Yeah, I think that was that.
Yeah, and and General just like the
I was sort of gonna see it, and then I remember hearing someone I know saw it, and they were like, "Yeah, you don't have to see that movie." So I actually don't know if it was good or not.
Yeah, you don't need to. You don't need to do that. Number 3, as Neil mentioned, Sin City, 2005, $29.1 million.
Yeah,
Know that one.
I never saw the sequel to that.
apparently you don't have to.
All right.
I haven't seen it either, and I love the first one.
And you're gonna let that just dangle?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Number 2, The Wolfman from 2010, $31.4 million. I remember being so excited to see this movie, being very underwhelmed after watching it.
Yeah.
I was like, eh,
It was fine. Well, it was fine.
Not exactly everything that I was hoping for.
Probably would have been more intrigued if he played a person who just trained wolves and everyone just called him the Wolfman. But really, he just had like a separate life. Like he goes to the deli, picks up a sandwich, like, oh hey, it's the Wolfman. He's like, shut up.
And of course, number 1, Guardians of the Galaxy, $94.3 million. As I mentioned, 2 films to vote for the box office bet. So I'm sure the votes are coming in fast and furious there. But before we do our first box office bet, we should first decide what our top 5 is going to look like next week. Of course, Ferdinand's opening in 3,600 screens. Star Wars: The Last Jedi, 4,100.
God, that's a lot.
So I mean, I think we all can agree Ferdinand's number 1.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, easily.
I mean, it's just a
We
question.
already got some suggestions. How's Hollywood Review says Star Wars, Ferdinand, Coco, Justice League, and then Wonder. I don't know. I kind
Ferdinand
of
beating Coco.
It's a new animated.
Yeah,
And-
Coco did 18.
And it's been doing
18.3.
well.
Went down 33%.
Yeah. And if it goes down to like even 15 and Ferdinand made like 17, you know.
That's a lot, though, for Ferdinand.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I think with Star Wars, everything's dropping really low. So it's sort of like a, I don't know.
Ken Jack agrees. Star Wars, then Ferdinand, Coco, Justice League, and Wonder.
Now, before, how excited are you? Just because Star Wars, everybody is excited to see that. But Ferdinand, in terms of
think it
just
looks
animated
cute.
properties, you guys excited about seeing it?
Yeah.
No.
Neil?
No, not really.
So nothing, no promotional materials as kind of like, I'm intrigued. I want to go check that out. Were you excited before any of the promotional stuff, or were you just like, yeah, the original source material is interesting enough that I'd want to go see this in a movie theater?
Sure.
Sure.
Well, what do you mean, like before there were trailers on it?
Yeah, the original source material, like Ferdinand the Bull.
I don't think I was thinking of that ahead of time.
Okay,
But-
so it wasn't like a character that you had any kind of nostalgic draw to, like, oh yeah, I remember reading stories about Ferdinand growing up that I want to go see this as an animated film.
Actually, made me think of the. It was Courage the Cowardly Lion. Made me think of that, where it's a thing where people assume they were one thing and then they were another.
Gotcha.
Remind me of those kind of cartoons back when.
So yeah,
So no, not the source.
Yeah, with that kind of talk, I don't know if there's going to be enough people wanting to be sucked in for Ferdinand that it could be. I could see Coco still coming in number 2.
Yeah, but I know the audience for Ferdinand is generally the younger side of the demographic for Coco.
Yeah.
And before I saw Coco, I saw a huge featurette for Ferdinand.
Really?
So maybe other people saw something similar, and their kids are going to be like, let's go see Ferdinand.
Well,
I don't know.
it's almost Christmas, too, so maybe parents want to take their kids so they can, I don't know, have a little break from all the shopping or something.
All right. So is everybody putting Ferdinand number 2? Anybody making the case that Coco's going to go number 2?
No, I think I'll put Ferdinand at 2.
I'll put.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to go with Star Wars, Ferdinand, Coco, Justice League, and then a curveball. I'm gonna say Disaster Artist.
Me
goes
too.
up.
Yeah,
Me
that's
too.
what I was going to say.
No, not Courage. Someone's like Courage Cowardly Dog. No, there was a lion one, and it might not be. It was like, do you know what I'm talking about? It was like the Cowardly Lion. I'm gonna look it up.
Oh, all right.
I'm trying to remember.
I could see it being Star Wars, Ferdinand, Coco, Wonder, the Disaster Artist, and Justice League kind of saying, see you later, alligator.
Oh, yeah.
I could see
maybe.
that.
Say it again
Mabes.
one more time, please.
Star Wars, Ferdinand, Coco, Wonder, the Disaster Artist. Yeah. Goodbye, Justice
I like
League.
that more.
Yeah.
Lambert. The Lambert the Sheepish Lion. Sorry. But yeah, that was a Disney cartoon from 1952.
Oh, wow. Timely.
There you go. Yeah, and just for one hot second, there was a big article in Variety that came out a few days ago about the big shakeup happening at Warner Brothers now, with John Berg stepping away.
Right.
Jeff Johns maybe just being more in advisory capacity, maybe not getting any more producer credits, and perhaps bringing in the DC films proper in more directly into Warner Brothers, kind of, instead of being its kind of own separate entity. So we'll see what that means going forward.
Did I also hear that Sneider was taking on sort of a Kevin Feige role?
No, well, no. I mean, I guess he's still producing some other stuff, but I don't know if that necessarily means he's like a Feige role. He still will be involved in a few films going forward,
Gotcha.
like Aquaman and Wonder Woman too. But
Cool.
I definitely don't feel like they're going to be looking at him as a Kevin Feige, given how reluctant some people in the studio were, like wondering, why are we still giving Sneider more of these films to do when the reception to Batman v Superman was so kind of tepid.
Right. Especially after Man of Steel was also tepid.
Oof, yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, I guess we should do our box office bet, though, before things get too far gone. And I have to rush this. Fernando, I do like them wishing, don't choke, Amy.
Yeah, this was from last week. I'm okay, guys. If you haven't noticed, I haven't had any water. That's how it started. I took a sip of water and it just...
It's all downhill from there.
Pretty much. And we were talking about Coco.
Could end it all
It's
with
just
a
a
sip
lot.
of water.
All right, so of course we're going in between Ferdinand and Star Wars. If anybody would feel free to share a final tally between the two, we'll make that bet. But briefly, the box office bet, of course, is where we bet on whatever film is voted on by you, the chat room crowd, about what film we should be buying on for the box office bet. Of course, the person who gets closest to it gets the title of prognosticator of prognosticators, much like Kari and Amy are basking in the glory of that win. Again, look how happy they are. It's changing their lives. Oh, hey, and Ken Jack, thank you, Ken Jack, sir. Star Wars won the bet.
Wow.
Woo!
I'm actually surprised.
Of course, guys, Star Wars Force Awakens did $247 million its opening weekend.
Yes.
Do we think that this will do better?
I honestly think that was a completely different animal.
Yeah.
I think people were upset with the prequels. They really wanted a sequel to Episode 6, and people were really just wanting to get out and see it. I don't think we're going to see a 240 again.
I'm hearing a lot of good things so far, though.
Yeah.
Oh,
I am.
yeah.
I
You're
am.
saying things.
I haven't heard a single bad thing about it, but I just think like the public rush to go see a new Star Wars movie, like they did with The Force Awakens, I'm not sure if it's there right now.
Sure.
All right. Well,
Not the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if the fact that it's getting such great critical buzz. Plus, they gave Rian Johnson his own trilogy afterwards. I mean, that can only speak how gung-ho Disney is about this film. So, whether that translates to audiences getting out there the opening weekend.
Like,
who
I'm not
knows?
contesting that it's not a great movie, or presumably
Ken
so.
Jack
but-
says 220. House Hollywood says 208. Star Drew says 210.
All right.
Zaya says 225. Oh, and thank you, Sky. I actually just got my hair recolored yesterday.
Oh, there you go.
I love
It's
the
more
the
blue.
roots. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all fresh right at the root line.
Eiffel 65.
It's fresh.
No,
fresh,
right?
fresh. Yeah, so we will place our bets here for box office bet. While we're making our bet, real quickly,
We're
everybody have
both
their
like,
tickets for opening night or opening weekend?
Yeah, I'm seeing
Yeah.
it Friday at 8.
I'm seeing it Thursday.
Kari?
I have my dance show Saturday, so I have.
Oh,
It
as
may
a
be
reward.
Sunday if there's time. Yeah.
Sunday, got it.
It can be busy.
Well, how about you, Frank?
I'm not allowed to go see it. There's contractual reasons between me and Lucasfilm.
Got it.
Oh, okay.
It's a shame. So tell me how it is, guys.
I'm not sure how you say your name.
Ikaika.
Says Star Wars 232. Devonte says 175. Teresa says 230. And Sky says 185.
240.
Janny Mouse says 195. Courtney says 175.
Cool.
All right. Anybody have all of their
We're
bets
ready.
locked
Our
in?
hands were
Neil,
like
you good to
locked.
go?
I'm locked.
All right. Well, as the winners, we'll start alphabetically. Amy, Cassandra.
I had a first thought, then I had a second thought.
All
I
right.
went with my first thought. Oh, hold on. That's
No
anticlimactic.
typing.
250.
Whoa.
Oh, shooting
I
big. I
went
like
for
it.
Big.
I like
Yeah.
Quarter bill.
Yeah. Yeah.
it. Nice.
I went a bit lower. I said 198.
198.
I went 230.
Tooth hurty. It's time to see a dentist, Frank.
Got it.
I apologize for that. I did 200 myself.
Oh, nice. All right.
Right.
There you go.
I like almost.
Good spread.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it.
Interesting. I know somebody mentioned in the chat that they thought Ferdinand would do 13.5. Anybody
I think
thinks
that's accurate.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think it was Star Drew said it.
13.5
I
for
think he's on.
Ferdinand. All right. We'll see how that does. Ladies and gentlemen, that's good. Yes,
Yeah.
Anthony.
Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry. But real quick, did you guys hear the rumors about people camping out outside the Chinese theater already?
It's not rumors. It is fact.
Yeah,
It's
I
fact.
wasn't sure.
250, guys. Hey.
If you're listening, I just made a face of like, really?
Yeah.
I love it. I love when people are excited about things.
Buy
Yeah, me too.
assigned seats.
Yeah, in the days of assigned seats, I feel
Yeah,
like
like,
camping out, I feel like is a
It's-
phenomenon.
They're
that is
trying to bring it back to how
the
things
same
were
anymore.
back in the day.
You guys don't understand.
Yep.
Before assigned seats, you would camp out for two reasons. One, because you wanted to get a good seat.
solidarity and buddies.
Two, solidarity.
Yeah.
You have a great
Yeah.
time. I mean, you're miserable, but you have a great time.
You meet other
Just
people.
because you don't have the assigned seats anymore doesn't mean that you can't have a great time.
Preach.
Wow, so I assume then both of you are going to be going to camp out then.
I'm there
We
right
already
now. This is a hologram.
Okay.
But I'm not really here.
Oh, all right. So we'll be expecting to follow them on Instagram for constant updates.
I don't gram.
All right, on the Twitter.
Sure.
I ran out of data. Sorry.
Yes, Carrie.
No, I was going to say this ties in really good of what question we'll ask this week. What is the longest you have camped out for a movie?
Ooh.
Mine's 0.
A day.
Oof.
A day?
No.
A few hours, several hours. Harry Potter.
I went to an advanced free movie screening, and those are first come first serve. I think I got there at like 2 in the afternoon for 8 o'clock show, maybe noon, noon for 8, and I was the first person in line. Nobody was there, and I was like, I could have come later,
Yeah.
There you go.
but it was fun.
House Hollywood Review is going to be, he's rolling with 30 for third Dan. Call him crazy.
Wow.
There you go.
We might call you crazy.
Wait, did we see Sky Patterson? Oh, never mind.
15.5.
I thought she was saying, or I thought that was for.
Oh, he was betting to it.
yeah,
No.
sorry.
No.
All right.
Courtney says camping outside is doing a little much for me. Yeah, I think
not
if
for
you got
everyone,
together
that's
with
okay.
Your friends
That's cool.
for a
Not
specific
everyone can
thing,
handle it. That's fine.
Sure.
Yeah.
Though I did get up at like crack of dawn to get David Bowie tickets, so I went like early to a place and got in line. So
Fair.
But then you miss things about hearing people debate on the proper way to fight with lightsabers. Those are things you can only get by spending a long
Being in line.
being in line with people for a long
Right.
period of time. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for this episode of Box Office Breakdown. Of course, you can always like us on Facebook, give us those 5 stars on iTunes, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and of course, thanks everybody for hopping in the chat. And while you're there on the YouTube channel, throw a bunch of these thumbs up. Look at these beautiful thumbs. These are the type of thumbs that you could put on that YouTube channel. And if you're watching the show even after we stream live, no worries, you still could be involved by commenting down below. Carrie has already mentioned the question, but feel free to repeat one more time.
yeah, one more time is the what's the longest you have camped out for a movie or concert? Because I mentioned a concert as well.
And ladies and gentlemen, if you want to continue the conversation with any of us after the show's aired, Neil, where is the best place for them to find you?
Yeah, Frank, the best place to find me is places where people are found at the Neil Plumley. That's TheNeilPlumley.
That is great. That is fantastic.
Thank you. You're welcome.
And you guys can find me on all social media at Amy Cassandra TV. I watched Mixed Nuts with Steve Martin, and I'm watching all kinds of holiday movies, so make sure you guys follow me there. I do polls. They're fun.
Oh.
Okay.
That's it.
That was an interesting sentence, Amy.
Sorry, I know. I realized it after I said it. I mean, like you vote, you know.
Yes,
Got it.
That's
You,
whatever.
Got it.
ask
Take-
questions
she,
and
she
do
polls. She takes polls.
Yes, you take polls.
I take polls.
All right.
it's
Yes,
still
my
weird.
name is
taking?
Kari Lane. You can find me online at Kari D Lane. That's KARIDLANE. And right after this, go over to AfterBuzz, and we're on Star Trek, and we're going to talk about Star Trek.
Yeah, there you go. Carrie's excited.
Go over to
spend it-
AfterBuzz. Popcorn talk. No, that's after. Yeah, we're in the weird room
There you
today.
She's excited to spend another hour with me, folks. Can't you tell?
I've watched 4 Star Trek movies in the last couple days, so I have a lot to talk about.
Wow. I didn't know there were 4.
There's a lot of Star Trek movies.
Fantastic.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. If you truly are desperate for, I mean, even then you can find much better things to do with your time. But it's that Happy Go Jackie. Folks, we're going to be back here next Sunday night, though, for the big holiday cliffhanger box office breakdown. Man, guys, wait till you see the twist ending for next week's episode. Well, it's going to keep you on the edge of your seat until 2018.
The writers are tweeting all about it.
Oh yes, trust me, it's the twist of the season. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back though next Sunday night to break down all the latest happenings. We'll share about our feelings about Star Wars, The Greatest Showman, Ferdinand, and much, much more. Until then, go see a bunch of movies.
Yay!
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.